for green industry news. This is The Turn, powered by Green Industry Pros. Live from the Tarps Up radio studios in sunny South Florida, with coverage across the country, across the street, also across the room. Now, here's Sarah Webb and Darren Gruner.
Hi, I'm Sarah Webb, editor of Green Industry Pros and host of Tarps Up Radio News. I'm here with Darren Gruner, founder and CEO of Tarps Up Radio. Today we are covering different types of equipment that make landscape professionals more efficient in their daily operations. Speaking of equipment, in our July-August issue, Green Industry Pros will also reveal the winners of our Editor's Choice Awards, which highlight those very products that make our readers' lives easier. You can see that story and more by subscribing to receive the print or digital issue, or both, at greenindustrypros.com. Just click the magazine icon in the top right corner. You can also subscribe to Green Industry Pros e-newsletters by visiting greenindustrypros.com and clicking on the newsletter icon in the top right corner. Darren, before we get started, what types of technology have you seen out there in the field that are noteworthy?
That's a great question, because there's a lot, and it's not just out in the field, and that's what we want to talk about today. Is there's so many cool things that I'm seeing in my day-to-day, when I'm doing my research, as I'm building new homes, as I'm building new product, new backyards and stuff like that. There's too much to mention, but I promise you, this show is going to get you going, and then you're going to want to know more. And I'm excited to tell you even more about what we're doing about the new stuff that I'm trying to figure out. I'm just going to give you that for now. How's that?
All right, that's perfect. For today's show, we'll talk about smart irrigation, software, and cleanup equipment. When we come back, we will talk about software systems.
You're listening to The Turn, powered by Green Industry Pros. We'll be right back.
Landscapers, had enough of disjointed and outdated software? Upgrade to Aspire and say goodbye to estimating, scheduling, and routing frustrations. With Aspire, it's smooth sailing. Work orders? Handled. Mobile access? Done. Invoicing, payments, and real-time reporting? It's covered. Aspire's got your back. Why settle? You deserve software that works just as hard as you do. Learn more at youraspire.com. That's youraspire.com.
Welcome back to Tarps Up Radio. I'm Sarah Webb, here with Darren Gruner. It seems like software is everywhere to help landscape pros become more efficient in their operations. We spoke with Brent Wichman, CEO of CustomerInsight.io, an app that allows contractors to see if potential clients can afford their services or if they're just kicking tires. First, we talked to him about what inspired the creation of this software.
One of my biggest inspirations, you want to know who your client is going into the appointment because you know nothing about them. I'm a contractor, just like everybody else. Clients can review us on all different platforms, on Google, on BBB. They go in to every contractor knowing, hey, they got 4.5 out of 5, 100 reviews. We got 0. Contractors didn't have one thing for our clients at all, and now we do. Having that background going into a client, to me, was crucial versus we go in blind. They go to talk to 10 different contractors, and they review them online. We had nothing. We have 0 as a contractor. So to knowing who they are, knowing their demographic, knowing their spending habits, knowing the amount of money they can spend is very crucial. So going in with that for a couple bucks before you even go to meet them, or you don't go to meet them, to me, saves time, money, and effort, and really benefits the contractors in the end.
Then we also asked him how landscape pros can benefit from something like this.
The biggest benefit is, how do you bid your job? Do you get money down? And do you want to get paid? These metrics that we provide, as you look at them to get the client's background, you're going to know, can they afford this project? If they can't afford this project, we need to talk about financing. If we get a certified letter from the bank or the financing group, and also, how do they spend their money? We have demographics here that have different metrics, so to speak, as they're executive spenders, or they're a house of cards, or their credit is king. By knowing those things, tells you everything you need to know before you go to your client.
Darren, what do you think about everything he had to say?
He was a great conversation, by the way. And it's funny because I'm always thinking about something like this. I'm always wondering, and if people listen to me on the shows on Landscape Hero, or people when I'm talking, engaging with some of the other show hosts here on Tarps Up Radio, they know that I want to know about my client. I want to know what I'm getting into. What is it? It's not fair that they know about me. they know about me before I know about them. So, we kid around. I always say we got to find out what their birthday is because you want to know whether you're going to get along with them, right? That's kind of silly. But this is real stuff, though. I mean, this is real stuff. You can find out if your potential client has the credit that they need to get the pool that you're going to build or the pergola or whatever. And you got to know whether or not they have the equity in their homes that they're going to be able to afford it. Let me tell you something. You wouldn't be smart. Nobody would be smart. If you bought a house that's worth $500,000 and you owed $500,000, you wouldn't put a damn dime in it. You wouldn't put a dime. And we know that. So you're not going to be convinced that someone's going to spend $100,000 after they're topped out, really, at their house. So it's great to know that. There's so much involved in that customer insight program that'll really help you along the way. It doesn't mean you're not going to go out and see the client. It just means you're going to have a better insight of exactly who they are before you go out to see them, and you can make that decision on what you want to do. It's pretty cool.
Absolutely. That really is cool to just get the full picture before you even step on the site.
Yep, it really is. I'm excited to use it. He let me use. I said, I'm not going to take advantage of you. He says, no, Darren, I want you to use it, and you can really get an idea. I'm telling you, you're going to get excited about it. So I'm excited to really give it a shot because I'm already doing stuff like that. I'm already going on to Zillow and seeing how much they paid for their home already and how long they've owned it and stuff like that. So this is great stuff.
Very cool. You'll have to let us know how that goes.
For sure.
You're listening to The Turn here on Turfs Up Radio, powered by Green Industry Pros. I'm Sarah Webb here with Darren Gruner. We'll be right back to weigh in on smart irrigation.
You're listening to The Turn, powered by Green Industry Pros. We'll be right back.
Landscapers, tired of old school whiteboards, sticky notes, and spreadsheets? Crew Control from Aspire delivers all-in-one software that ensures your hard work pays off. Craft winning proposals, simplify scheduling, complete routes efficiently, and get paid fast. Powerful mobile features keep your team connected, and insightful reporting gives you the facts. Don't deal with the frustration. Get your free 14-day trial today at crewcontrol.com. That's crewcontrol.com.
Welcome back to The Turn. I'm Sarah Webb here with Darren Gruner. Coming more on the scene as of late is smart irrigation technology. We spoke with Robert Summer, CEO of Root Quencher. First, we asked him to discuss the importance of smart irrigation, especially as places in the West experience more and more drought conditions.
We're able to deliver water subsurface directly to the roots. So not only is the intelligence that the controller brings saving you water and making much more sense, that the fact that we're delivering water under the ground or subsurface means that you're saving on 30 to 50% of evaporation. And on top of that, I believe, and we're proving now, that you have to water less frequently and that the water is used much more effectively.
He then talked about what Root Quencher aims to do.
Root Quencher was developed to solve tree and plant health. So we found out early on that delivering water to the root zone was a much more effective use of water, and integrating fertilization, whether it's compost extract, compost tea, AgriThrive, pre-digested organic fertilizer, or a time-release fertilizer, delivering it into our device is brilliant right at the root zone because you're not relying on that fertilizer to filter through the soil to get to the root zone. Subsurface watering is absolutely the way to go.
And finally, he discussed how landscape and irrigation professionals can train crew members on installing and maintaining this type of equipment.
We have invested time and money and energy into creating quite a few YouTube videos. For you contractors, the very best way is to invest in a great auger. Our big root quencher is actually designed to work with a power planter 4-inch auger that's 28 inches long. The bottom line is it couldn't be much simpler than you literally dig a hole in the ground, post hole digger or an auger, and you can connect to any irrigation system, whether it's 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch PVC, flexible line, drip line, what have you. It integrates with anything out there. For that matter, we sell all the connectors that integrate with it. But of course, we're always available for consulting. We love talking to contractors and working with them on designing systems. Like I said, great resources on YouTube as well. And we have some instructions that come with the devices as well.
Darren, what more did you learn about root quencher after your conversation with Robert?
I thought I knew about watering trees. I thought I knew how to water a tree. Oh, just throw some water on it. We learned so much growing in the green industry, lawn service, about lawns. When you're fertilizing, taking care of the different types of grass that you do on a regular basis. We know how much water. I know how much water a tall fescue needs per 1,000 square feet per year, or bluegrass or ryegrass. I understand that. But I really never thought about the trees. I mean, figure trees, they grow. Once you water them, they get in the ground, everything's fine. But it's not true. They need a certain amount of water also, and they need to be covered properly. Down here in Florida, we think we got sand. It's no big deal. You plant a tree, and you put a bubbler on, and water's going to get down to the root. Well, guess what? I mean, we have evaporation here also. And if you're not properly watering it, that tree could die, or you think you're doing it right. So this root quencher actually assures us, the pros, that we're properly watering it, and we know the tree is going to last. Listen, there's trees that we install that are $3,000 or $4,000 for one tree. If that, and sometimes we put them in a patio that we can't access later on after the patio's done. So what the hell's going to happen? What if it dies? We're never going to be able to go back and replace it. So we have to assure ourselves that we're watering it properly. Now, these white root transfers, they really go deep into the ground. Like he said, you auger it in there, and it directs the water right to the entire root of the tree. It's absolutely amazing. I'm so glad that I was able to meet him and discuss this, because he even said to me, he says, Darren, he says, I'm on the West Coast, but we sell a lot to the people in Florida. I'm like, damn, why didn't I think of this? Why didn't I know about it? So it's a great tool, and I'm excited to start using them on some of the trees that we plant.
Absolutely. And it's so timely too, considering that July is Smart Irrigation Month. So it's really finding ways to become more efficient in your irrigation and save water and money and all of that.
Yep, absolutely. By the way, they got some great videos, like he said, and you can learn how easy it is to attach to any irrigation system that you have. It's pretty cool.
Great. You're listening to The Turn here on Turfs Up Radio, powered by Green Industry Pros. I'm Sarah Webb, here with Darren Gruner. We'll be right back for our final segment, which includes cleanup equipment to make landscape pros more efficient.
You're listening to The Turn, powered by Green Industry Pros. We'll be right back.
How many times have you tried to switch away from gas-powered OPE only to find the power wasn't there and you needed too many batteries to avoid long charge times? Not anymore. Crest commercial landscape tools provide the same level of power and performance as their gas counterparts, but with a revolutionary battery technology. Supported by the Crest Cyber System, the 60-volt CyberPack batteries can charge in 8 minutes or less. Finally, professional landscapers can confidently make the change to battery without sacrificing power, performance, or runtime. Crest, it's the only choice to replace gas. Visit Crest.com. Tired of playing catch-up while your rivals snag the best bids? Even the score with Property Intel from Aspire. Instantly measure any property using the latest aerial visualization technology. Create quick, accurate time, material, and cost estimates. Then dazzle clients with color-coded proposals and detailed site maps. Don't let outdated methods keep you from winning time-sensitive bids. Start your free trial today at AspirePropertyIntel.com. AspirePropertyIntel.com. Welcome
back to The Turn. I'm Sarah Webb, here with Darren Gruner. We spoke with Aaron Fair, founder and CEO of ANT, the Apparatus for Navigating Tarps. Say that 10 times fast. First, we asked him what inspired the creation of ANT.
So I grew up working for my dad's lawn service in northern Indiana, where he had me doing the hardest parts of the job, which was usually laying down a tarp, filling it up with yard debris, and then having to drag it all around from point A to point B over and over again. And after doing this so many times, especially in the fall with leaf cleanup, I got tired of it and thought there's got to be a better way. So I went into the truck, fished out some old bootlaces, tied them together, and created the first version of the ANT, aka the Apparatus for Navigating Tarps. And from there, we continued using it for years. I was probably 14 or 15 when we started, and over the years thought, this is really useful, but what if it had a nice thick padded strap? What if it had clips that you could clip in and out of different tarps. The aluminum ones didn't hold up to pulling a bunch of weight, so let's upgrade them to steel. So the finished version of the Ant is something that's been tried and tested over 15 years of working with my dad, using a product that was really helpful for us that we've kind of refined into the perfect version.
We also asked him how this product can save landscape pros time and money.
It allows you to move materials around faster than you otherwise would be able to. If you would be dragging a dozen trash bags or a bunch of wheelbarrows, by putting everything on a tarp, you're already kind of doing everything more efficiently. But then you run into the problem of having to ball it up and throw it over your shoulder and then drag the heavy thing, or bend over, hunch backwards, and having to drag it. The Ant makes that much faster by allowing you to stand up, lean into the pad, and walk forward. You can see where you're going, and it doesn't take a toll on your body like any of the other processes do. Time is money, so being able to do something faster makes it much more efficient and allows you to save money by getting work done faster.
Finally, he talked about how the product can save on labor hours as well.
Yeah, so the Ant saves labor by allowing you to get work done faster and ideally having less people on the same task, where you would have 10 guys blowing leaves. If you have a handful doing that and one working the tarp using the Ant, where in the past, that tarp might have been super heavy and required 2 or 3 or 4 guys to move. With the Ant, you're able to move a lot more weight in a lot less time. Ideally, it would turn a 2-person job into a 1-person job, or scale that up however many people you have working out at a time.
Darren, can you talk to me a little bit about how you first came across Aaron and Ant and what all you learned about the product?
I'm trying to remember whether I saw him at the Equip Expo or maybe it was at the show at was it the show at Synced? But I'll tell you what, either way, what a cool product. I always it kind of stinks, here I am leaving the industry, not really leaving. I'm just kind of done. I've been doing it forever, and I could never say that I'm leaving, but I remember spending time doing cleanups and my fingers, by grabbing the tarp after putting all those heavy leaves and debris on them and trying to pull them out to the front yard. I remember trying to grab them, twisting the ends, and I'm like, why the hell didn't I think of this? It's so easy. It really is. It's just a matter of throwing a strap over your body and using it. As a matter of fact, I convinced him to send a couple to Steve Cohen of BCLS in Virginia, and he's got a big company. I have hundreds of trucks, and I think he sent him 3, and Steve's guys were like all over it. They loved that thing. They were sending him videos of how much they loved this thing. It really saved their back.
Absolutely. That's so cool. And, coming up here in a couple months, we'll actually be seeing a lot of products similar to Aaron's, in that they really are just created to try to make landscape pros' lives a little easier, save them backaches and headaches. So Darren, do you want to talk a little bit about what we have coming up at Equip Expo in October? I'm
excited about, it's always cool to go to that show. It's like, it's like just a group of professionals all wanting to be better in business and wanting to see the guys and talk to them, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited about our partnership, Green Industry Pros and Tarps Up Radio, and the show that we're going to be doing there. We'll be doing a live broadcast directly from there. We're going to be learning about new products that are there. Every year, I'm going to have to pull that one out, but every year we're seeing new products, new innovative products as well, and that's what I'm excited about. Really, it's going to be a great one. It's going to be a good show.
It really is. I'm looking forward to our broadcast, and then on the show floor, Green Industry Pros will be covering it. The new product releases, talking to product managers, really just trying to get the ins and outs of what's being showcased there. So be sure to follow us along on our social media channels.
Yeah, I'm really.
And then
I'm really excited about this. It's gonna be fun.
And also, coming up too in Green Industry Pros, our cover story for September, October will focus on Equip Expo. So if there's anybody out there going to the show who's really excited about it and wants to talk about what they're most looking forward to, what products they're most excited to see, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, absolutely. Find Sarah Webb on LinkedIn, or you can text the show here at Tarps Up Radio. Open up your app. Open up the Tarps Up Radio app, hit the little message button, and the text will go directly to one of us here at Turfs Up Radio, and just say, look, I want to be part of this. I want to talk to Sarah, and Sarah's easy to talk to. She's easy, aren't you?
I like to think so. And, coming up too, Darren, I know you have some exciting news for January. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, people are starting to hear about it. Synced Live and Turfs Up Radio having the Bolt On Business Tour, having the event in January 14th, 15th, and 16th. Please get yourselves some tickets. Find out about it. You can check out you just call the show. We'll have more information about it as the days go by. I know Hecubus is working on that, but the show is going to be about how to be better in business. You're going to have some great speakers. Great presentations. Again, you're going to have some innovative products that you never even knew existed. It's going to be really great. And, Turfs Up Radio, we're connectors, and we're going to connect you to some great people to really catapult you to the next level in your business. We're excited about that. And our partners at Green Industry Pros are going to be there too, which is going to be cool.
Yeah, we're really excited to take part in that show. Very much looking forward to it. And let's see, that's it for The Turn, powered by Green Industry Pros. This has been Sarah Webb and Darren Gruner. Until next time.
Stay green and keep your hands dirty.
To learn more about these stories and more, and to keep updated on green industry news, technology, and how the industry is growing, be sure to download the Turn podcast and subscribe to get the latest copy of Green Industry Pros magazine by simply visiting greenindustrypros.com.